Hello everyone, this is Luxury PL38. Today's video is an actual unboxing because I just got this item yesterday from my essay. It's actually a little bit long overdue because this particular item, it was released a few weeks back and I only decided to get it after a while, and my essay was trying to get it for me. So I'm going to do the actual unboxing. I just got this yesterday and I'm going to compare it with other similar items on the market at the moment, especially the one with Louis Vuitton, and there's a couple of other brands that I would like to mention with comparison to this particular item. So let's get into the actual unboxing itself. As you can see from the box, it is a very small item, and I was actually surprised at how tiny it is yesterday when I got it. And this is the Petite Plat, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and it is really tiny. So as you can see, it is a very structured bag. Even though it looks tiny, it is a very structured, as in, you see how the shapes, it is quite well structured. For the price itself, I am a little bit surprised that it is more expensive than the Felicity. Let me just show you what the features are. It basically have two handles, and they do have the strap here that you can strap here just like the Alma BB. Speaking of which, I'm going to compare this in terms of the size to the Alma BB a bit later on. And they do have a small little pocket here just at the back. I'm just gonna zoom up a little bit and hopefully you can see the inside. And this particular one is made in France, and it is big enough to hold your biggest phone. I had actually tried to put it yesterday and it barely just goes underneath the top of this particular Petite Plat, but my phone is the largest and it is barely just under there. I believe this is probably about 7-inch or just under 7-inch, and I just want to show you the differences. I just want to showcase the inside of the bag, and I do apologize, I should have done it earlier on in the video. And I've actually attached the shoulder strap just to show you that it is quite long. I believe it's about 20-inch, and it should be able to use that as a crossbody. But I just want to showcase, because something that I've discovered as I was going through the bag itself, the back pocket is not completely attached to the bag, and if you actually, I can just pull it out like that, and that's what the back pocket is. It is actually quite long, but it is difficult to get items. Even if you put it all the way down, it is actually difficult to put your fingers all the way down below. So that is the back pocket of it. As you can see, this is made in France, and the fabric material, I just want to emphasize, the fabric is actually of a thicker material from other Louis Vuitton bags, such as the Speedy bag. So it is a little bit on the thicker side, and I'm not sure if you can see that it seems to be a little bit of a better materials. And this is actually the date code for this particular bag. So I just want to showcase that part of the bag as well. The Petite Plat, and one of the more popular ones, which is the Hermes Evelyn. To be honest, I just find it very similar in terms of the shape itself, other than the fact that this comes in a 2 handle, whereas the Hermes Evelyn it does not come with a handle, but it comes with a strap, and this particular one also comes with a strap. I actually like the fact that the Vuitton, the untreated leather, it actually has been treated. As you can see, the color itself, it is actually on a darker color, so it won't have that patina effect because the leather has been treated. So I like that Vuitton actually did that. But for the price, which is 1,500-ish Canadian dollars, I think that is actually a little bit overpriced in my honest opinion. But in terms of the size wise, it is very, very close to the Hermes Evelyn, and this is in the TPM size, the petite size. And I'm just going to show you the length, the width, the height. So the height, the Evelyn is pretty much the same, because if you look at the height of that, that's actually curved downwards. So the height is comparable if you take into consideration that's the actual height of the Evelyn. So they are pretty much very similar, other than the fact that the Evelyn is actually with leather, so it is more stretchable, and the price is more than double of this. Well, pretty much about double of this price, but this is Hermes price. And also I just want to compare with the mini rectangular from Chanel. For someone that has a mini rectangular, this is actually smaller. The petite sac black, it's actually smaller in terms of the length as compared to the Chanel mini rectangular. See how it's smaller? I would say this is probably the same as the mini square in terms of the length. Probably a little bit slightly longer, but that's the mini rectangular on the top from Chanel, and this is from Louis Vuitton, the Petite Sac Plat. The width, it's also thinner. So as you can see, this how tiny this Petite Sac Plat is. Speaking of the Alma BB, this is my Alma BB, and look at how tiny it is. It's even smaller than the Alma BB. And if you look at the comparison of the hardware, it's even smaller than the Alma BB hardware. See the hook that's you're supposed to hook it up like that? Look at how tiny it is as compared to the Alma BB. It's practically half of the size of that. So that goes to show how tiny this Petite Sac Plat is. And I'm gonna showcase the Felicity as well and show you in comparison. Look at how tiny it is. So in terms of the length, this is even shorter than the Felicity. Another one that I just want to compare is the double zip pochette that I've recently purchased over a month ago. It is even shorter than the double zip pochette if you compare it that way. However, in terms of the width, it is a little bit thicker. So you're able to actually supposedly put in a little bit thicker on this. And this is the mini pochette from Louis Vuitton. It is barely taller than the mini pochette. However, if you compare it that way, it's even smaller in terms of the length. The mini pochette goes all the way there. So in terms of the length, this is actually shorter. But if you turn it the other way around, what it simply means is you might be able to put in your mini pochette, but that's about it. Because see how the mini pochette fits in perfectly? But that's basically about it. You can't squeeze in much because of the concave of this. See how it actually curves inwards? So it is a little bit deceiving in terms of that length because of these two sides that actually curve inwards. So technically it is only that in terms of the length. So again, to showcase how tiny this Petite Sac Plat is. Also, if you do have a thicker cut holder like the Chanel card holder, you are able to put it in, but that's about it. It's unlikely that you can squeeze in another item at the back. So if you were to use this, you have to put in your phone. You might not be able to squeeze in those thicker card holder. You might have to use the thin, kind of like the card holder from Louis Vuitton, which is very, very thin. And you might be able to put that in there. And one final comparison is with the cosmetic pouch from Louis Vuitton. It is basically the same in terms of the, if you actually turn that upwards, it's the same length. See how it is the same length? However, if you put it that way, it's actually shorter, smaller than the cosmetic pouch. I do have a Toiletry 26, which is the Crafty collections. And this Petite sac Plat, the Toiletry 26 looks like a giant as compared to the sac Plat. And I don't have a Toiletry 19. I can only imagine the Toiletry 19 will pretty much be the same size as this. But I've only got a 26, and I'm just going to show you it is actually much, much smaller in terms of the length. In terms of the height, it's even smaller than the Toiletry 26. But if you turn it the other way around, this will probably look very similar to a Toiletry 19. So this is the overpriced, I can't stress enough, is the highly overpriced, in my honest opinion, Petite sac Plat. But for some reason, I decided to get it anyway. So this is the Petite sac Plat from Louis Vuitton. It comes with the shoulder strap, as I've mentioned. And once again, if you do have any comments, please do so in the sections below. And thank you so much for watching.